What's up, everybody? Celtic Scare here, back again for another video. Get those 10s and 20 views. I literally recorded a entire reaction to a topic near and dear to my heart, anime. It was top 10 most forgotten Toonami animes. And you would think, perfect, I have animes, I do my anime of the month up there, and we be all good and dandy. It was the most boring, drawn out video I have ever seen, and if I wasn't doing like a reaction and plan on posting it, I would have completely just stopped watching it. Because of that, I'm not going to force you people to sit through it. Instead, we're going to stick with the boys from across the pond who won West Ham United. Two videos. One about a hero, a legend being born, one Mr. Nosey, and the deadly London football rival between West Ham and Millw. I do not remember if Millw was the main the football team for the main, like the counterparts to Green Street Hooligans, but I am looking it up. Blah blah blah. Millwall. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So it is. Yep, I clicked the wrong button. Pause. Yeah. So the movie Green Street Hooligan is actually about like this rivalry. But first, I have to throw the headphones on. I may be going to West Ham's page and ordering myself a jersey because it's like 65% off, and I'll take an authentic West Ham United jersey. Might be a little present for myself. But Nexus Football brings us our first video. It would also help if I had that is. And here we go. First up, we're listening to the legend being born, a true hero, in my opinion. Not a solo hero like a lot of stories are making out, but he was the first React. So here we go.
Hello guys, welcome back to Nexus Football. Subscribe for the latest football news.
Can I just say, everywhere we go, everywhere we go, no say it's blessed, everywhere we go, no say it's blessed, everywhere we go. Everywhere we go.
I think this video has what I want in it. No, it did not. I wanted there's a video where boo. I was wanted to like is this one?
West Ham United players, their fans, and relatives were caught up in a terrifying incident after
That guy they were just singing about. This is why they were singing for him.
A's Alkmaar Ultras broke into the away fans
The A's Alkmaar's hooligans broke into
section after West Ham beat the hosts 1-0 in the Europa Conference League semi-final on Thursday. In what was clearly a laxity from the security personnel,
security's doing a pretty good job right here. This is not where the legend is born.
the A's Alkmaar hooligans got access to West Ham fans section and began attacking them, with some even trying to jump into the hospitality section.
It's here where the legend's born. It's not just the fan section. He probably might says it. It's like the family and close friends of the players section.
where the West Ham players' families were
Okay, there we go.
seated. The situation obliged a 58-year-old Hammers fan by the name Chris Knoll, now dubbed the Angel of Alkmaar, to
Nosy.
step in and, in the company of another concerned fan,
Good. They at least got out the other guy, but
fight off the intruding hooded thugs. Fortunately, they successfully stopped the hooligans from accessing the terrified away fans as Michael Antonio, Declan Rice, and Sid Benrahma rushed to the scene to check on the well-being of their kin and fans. Chris, who fended off the attackers, was humble about his heroics despite suffering a swollen left eye and a scrapped face. "I'm not a hero, I just did what I had to do. I don't like bullies and just had to try."
I'll find his quote. Like, I don't know what this guy is. We're bouncing around. This is our
Introducing
plan.
the Ungun, the non-lethal self-defense platform. Lightweight and simple to use.
I don't know what this one is. We bounced over. It's just madness right now before we get to our main move. Groundhopper FC. Let's see what this my man says here.
Oh my goodness!
We're on the verge of another Europe Cup final. And it's the big competition against the so-called Mickey Mouse League. And today we will find out the truth. AZ Alkmaar is the only Dutch club left in Europe and already have done the impossible to reach the semi-finals after
Oh, is this guy a fan of AZ?
a 2-0 defeat and win it on penalties. The same magic is needed tonight. And from what I've heard, the AZ fans are having some big plans. And we all know how I feel about English fans. There will be approximately 1,000
Oh, this could be a good one. This could be a good one.
of them in the away end, so maybe tonight it's different. Probably not. The form of AZ is pretty deep,
My man wearing a Yankees hat? Because I would.
and we all know how I feel about English
Yeah, my man, you're wearing a Yankees hat. I'm docking points.
fans. There will be approximately 1,000 of them in the away end, so maybe tonight it's different. Probably not. The form of AZ is pretty decent, and even though West Ham are really struggling in the Premier League, they did manage to win last week 2-1. So basically anything is possible tonight. It's time to go to Alkmaar and see how the AZ fans live this historic day.
Okay, this could be completely different from what I'm thinking, but this could be awesome at the same time.
Right guys, we've arrived in Alkmaar. It's time to explore the city with some cinematics. Let's go.
I'm not blurring out that Yankees hat. You can just not like me. I don't like them. I definitely need to do a Euro trip where I go like watch some Premier League soccer and stuff like that.
Right guys, there's a lot of police. Let's find out why.
You have a major game going on tonight. That's why. And fans are crazy.
You can never go wrong with Italian. Let's go.
You're in the Dutch area and you're going Italian.
These dead. Right guys, that was the
Did you see pizza with a fork and knife and fork, sir? Shame.
city of Alkmaar. Now it's time to go to the stadium. It's AZ against West Ham in the semi-finals of the Conference League. Let's go. Right guys, we're here and the fans are coming. The players with the bus should arrive soon and then we will see some fireworks, I think. Here we go! Oh my goodness!
Yeah, this will get shut down so quickly stateside. It's not even funny, but these people are actually having fun.
This is crazy. The players are coming. It's mad behind me. Wow.
Yeah, no, barricades would have been up and all this. Where you got like, I don't know if you can see them.
Just imagine being a player.
There's a couple guys right here just saying, "All right, fellas, put it to the pass. We need to get our boys in there," and they're just stepping aside. Look at
Just imagine being a player inside that bus. Right guys, that was the bus with all the fans. Now it's time to go inside AZ West Ham.
Oh, also, if because pretty much everyone's probably gonna watch this is American, European style things, the home team is up first. Like where you would see like the away team for like American sports. No, that's the home team in Europe.
Guys, inside the stadium, I'm gonna go realistically with a 2-1 win for West Ham. Their quality is immense. You know, AZ, he's confident. I think they stole their flag, but they have it back now.
I always like this kind of footage. It always looks so cool because it's like you don't really see that much stateside. Oh, you're having trouble with the flag? Or are you rolling it up? Oh, it's coming out.
This game, you're not ready.
Nope, neither is this ad, so.
Decent atmosphere, it's the semi-finals. Let's just go and enjoy this match.
Your flag was stolen because you're in the West Ham section. They probably were just like, dude, just give us the flag. We'll be all peaceful.
Here we go!
It's okay. It's all cool and all, but you can't see through that smoke, probably. Yeah, like I was saying up this left-hand corner, like this is the home team, the first team, where we would put the away team.
Look at what it is! For the first chance, AZ came really strong here. Fair play to the Ultra section, they are making
AZ is in red, West Ham's in black, but this is an old game, so it doesn't really matter. We know who wins.
noise.
We want to see the madness. Your problem is these guys right here. These are the diehards. Right here. These are just crazy fans.
They are making some noise from the away end.
I think I'm watching him so intently, like I don't know what's going to happen. I do. I know it's final. It's right in the title. Good block shot, though.
They are getting close. And that's half time. Both teams are looking really nervous. Here we go, second half. Let's just hope for some goals. Finally, he's on fire. AZ really pushing for that goal now. How is that not a pen? VAR is going to check. No penalty. I have no idea. From my perspective, it really looked like a pen, but...
No, that looked clean. He was trying to keep him away. He didn't, like, while he was running. They were both there. He should have the right to his path. Then again, I don't know that much about soccer, so. Also, I know refs in sports don't want to give away like penalties within like a scoring area, especially with soccer where it's like a free kick in the box. Was this game really this one-sided like this?
What a chance.
Number 10, instead of complaining, kick the ball in the net.
It's just one big mess. It's just not going to happen. 5 more minutes to go.
For the college people, that's the student section. Like, look at the security. They got a lot more security than, like, the Prague game does. This guy. How much you had to drink, sir? How much? This guy's being fun. He's just waving. More evil, too.
That's game over. That's full time.
Here it is. This is the birth of the myth. Right here. This is where the myth being born.
It all kicks off now. Even the players are.
Yeah, right there. There he is. Look at this. You have security there. This is just 2 fans taking on a horde.
Now, I don't know what's happening, but the West fans are kicking off there. Congratulations to all West Ham fans. I see you guys in the final, and of course, respect to AZ for that.
Okay, so that was pretty cool, but not really what I was looking for. And like
West Ham United
going back, because this video does have him talking to.
Ultras were good. Obvious that the AZ Alkmaar Ultras were intent on trouble, so we could see them coming down the side of the pitch. Quite a lot of them, they look like little ants running towards us, all in their black hoodies and stuff like that. So I just realised the best form of defence, or a place to put up a defence, would be at the top of the stairwell when it was almost a one-on-one situation.
And do you consider yourself a hero?
No, not at all. Not at all, no. As I said, there were guys that done
A man is a hero.
exactly the same as I did. There was a guy on the next road that of steps down who did exactly the same, and there were people behind me as well. So
Lovely. And are you going to hopefully you want to go to Prague?
Yeah, they did. They actually sent him like things, like the player sent him like all stuff. But enough of that. Let's get to the main event, the deadly London football rivalry, West Ham versus Millwall.
Fans all over the globe who tune in year on year to a sport which has become integrated in a lot of people's daily life. But
it's just sports in general. And
mixed in with the billions of casual fans of the game is a group of people who live and breathe football.
Those are still casual fans, but
group of people who are willing to fight till the death for the football team they love. Today we'll be getting,
like I said, there's a lot of football fans like the same way, American football fans, but the difference is these guys are well organized.
getting into one of the most infamous football rivalries in London history, and how 2 local teams' friendly competition turned fatal. Let's get into the video.
Guess that's the name of this channel, Kid Nerd, is it? I was not paying attention. Yeah, Kid Nerd. Good name.
Now, football hasn't always looked like the game people love and enjoy today. In 1863, the Football Association was founded, now more known as the FA. The Football Association basically was and still is a governing body who oversee amateur and professional football in the UK. When the FA was founded back in 1863, only 11 football clubs, all inside London, were nationally recognised as structured clubs.
But you have 11 in one kind of state? Yeah, of course you don't need others.
As time went by, football's popularity started to rise, especially in the working class community. Young men would flock to their local football grounds to enjoy a game of football away from their family and work.
Yeah, it gave them something to do.
Companies where these men worked started realizing this. So to boost morale in the workplace, businesses mainly for labor workers would set up amateur football teams where their employees can enjoy a game of football every now and then. Some of the first
You see that a lot in Japan still. They still have like company teams for sports.
companies to do this were located in the East End of London, and that was how the formation of a club called Millwall was made. In 1885,
Listen, you're a great guy, but you're not big. There can't be a more...
workers
Stupid ads.
of a company called JT Morton's, which was a factory that produced canned food, created the football team Millwall Rovers. Originally, the team was based...
Keep it quilted means you keep it the best. 3 layers of plush comfort you can see.
That was 2 ads within like 3 seconds of each other.
right beside its factory in East London.
I'm going to back up just so I can hear what they said, because it was like, ad break. Here we go, ad break.
Originally, the team was based right beside its factory in East London, more specifically in Tower Hamlets. Millwall quickly started seeing success, winning several competitions around London. But 10 years after Millwall's creation, a company located less than 3 miles away would create a team that...
Oh, that's like Duke, North Carolina. So they're on the same road.
That would make a rivalry football head not seen yet. That club would be called Thames Ironwork FC, now known as West Ham.
Hence why they have the hammers on it. Also why they're called the hammers. And the irons.
Created by the owners of a company who specialized in...
Look at those great mustaches. Except for this guy. Like, dude, grow a mustache. Like, you too. Mustaches are needed.
In building and engineering ships, and they were located in an area called Canning Town, which used to be part of Essex but is now East London. Just like Millwall, Thames Ironwork were finding some good success in the amateur leagues of East London and Essex. It would be in 1899 when both teams would first meet professionally in the FA Cup, and tensions were high at the game. Both sets of fans and players from both teams worked for rival companies who battled for similar business opportunities. Thames Ironwork weren't big fans of Millwall as well.
Yeah, so now you got 2 teams a stone's throw away from each other, and their real work is identical.
Due to a few friendly games they lost against them in the years preceding. And this was a big game to see who the biggest club in East London was. Millwall won 2-1, which was a big blow to the Ironwork side. But this would be the first of many exciting games to come.
So let's see.
Big blow to the Ironwork side. But this would be the first of many.
There we go. Okay, so this is from West Ham's point of view. So they lost a lot. So this could be like the start of the Penguins Flyers rivalry, where one side kind of dominated the other.
Many exciting games to come. Between 1899 and 1950, Millwall and Thames Ironwork played each other a total of 60 times in league and cup fixtures.
Yeah, like I said, a lot of Penguins Flyers start there, where one team was better at first.
During this period, a lot happened. In 1900, Thames Ironwork disbanded and took on the name we know the club to be today, West Ham United. Also, Millwall relocated its stadium from East London to the other side of the River Thames in South London. During one game in particular on the 17th of September 1906, between Millwall and West Ham, the whole match was filled with dirty tackles and aggressive football, and a big commotion on the pitch was made after a West Ham player pushed a Millwall player onto a metal advertising board. But
Wait, what? They don't advertise more? So like the barricade?
Wasn't just left on the pitch. Fans from the stands on both sides started colliding with each other, resulting in big fights inside and outside of the stadium, in probably one of the first examples of football hooliganism in the sport. Then on August the 4th, 1914, England declares war on Germany, resulting in Britain joining World War I. For around a year or so, this didn't affect the football leagues too much until conscription was introduced at the start of
Yeah, you saw it stateside too. Like, that's why you have the famous Philadelphia Pittsburgh Steagles.
1916, which forced any healthy men between the ages of 18 to 41 to go to war. But there were a few exceptions for medically unfit men, and men who held down important jobs like teachers and workers in certain industries. This was when the wartime leagues were introduced, where Millwall and West Ham played each other a total of 33 times, with teams full of amateur players who didn't have to fight in the war. After World War I and II were done, football was back and booming more than ever.
Yeah, it was an escape from PTSD and showing like normality.
1948, football match attendance was the biggest it ever had been. Stadiums were filling out. These times, Millwall's form dropped quite a bit compared to how they were pre-war times, with them dropping to the 3rd and eventually the 4th division of the Football League. West Ham were comfortably playing in the 2nd division, but in 1958, West Ham was promoted back to the top division, which resulted in a long period of no games between West Ham and Millwall. This didn't put an end to the rivalry though. Then the
No, because if you hate a team, you hate a team.
1970s came, which generally wasn't the best time for the UK. The unemployment rate was unusually high, inflation was destroying a lot of people, and football hooliganism was at its peak.
Yeah, a lot of broke, bored people who are pissed off. Yeah, of course they're going to get passionate over the one thing that they kind of can get really behind.
Fans all over the country started making what they called firms, and these firms would travel all over the country supporting their team in away and home matches, representing their club and causing a lot of carnage on the way. In 1974, this new wave of hooliganism started getting international attention after a young fan from a football club called Blackpool was stabbed to death by a fan from a team called Bolton Wanderers inside the stadium.
Stabbing this major over there. They don't have guns, they have knives, and they do use them.
Teams were forced to put in place segregation between the fans of clubs inside the stadiums, and fences separating the pitches and fans were added after numerous pitch invasions and attacks on players were occurring in the early 70s. Multiple UK teams were also starting to get banned from competing in European competitions.
Look at that. That's at least, I don't know the bottom two teams, but that's two big heavy hitters, especially Arsenal and Tottenham. Like, those are two big heavy hitters. I don't know what these two bottom logos are.
Until English clubs were putting their fans in order. The 1970s also saw an increase of black players playing in the English football leagues. And with racial tensions in the UK...
Yeah, let's put it that way. England's biggest sport took till the 70s.
Being sky high after an influx of immigrants coming in after the wars. Many non-white players received a lot of abuse from fans. The midst of far-right movements like the National Front and the rise of gangster culture being idolized from gangsters like the Craze. A lot of violence in rise of gangster culture being idolized from gangsters that...
Oh, I thought those were like movies. Photos that he just took stills of now.
At the Craze. A lot of violence inside and outside of London was on the rise, and at the forefront of football violence was West Ham and Millwall. West Ham had a firm set up which they called the Intercity Firm, and Millwall set up one called the Bushwhackers. Both firms built up a big reputation for violence.
Yeah, I love the non-creativity.
And it wouldn't be long until both teams would meet up once again. In 1972, both teams faced each other in a friendly game in hopes of bringing both sides together.
We're hated rivals from years gone by. We haven't really played each other, but we need to bring each other together by playing each other at the height of violence. Yeah, good call.
From one of Millwall's defenders called Harry Cripps, playing for both sides during his career. But despite this game being designed for just a harmless friendly between two sides who have a deep history, the meet-up was anything more than friendly. The whole event was...
I say, like, West Ham's jerseys look relatively the same, maroon with blue stripes.
Overshadowed by violence. Before, during, and after the game, constant fights were breaking out between both sides. The game ended up being a goal fest with West Ham eventually winning 5-3. but it was starting to become clearer that football violence had started becoming more than the sport itself. People who were fighting for each side weren't even attending the games. Certain football events were becoming nothing more than just a reason for random people to fight, and it wouldn't be long until this fighting turned to a tragedy. It was the 21st
That's literally the plot of Green Street Hooligan.
of September 1976. West Ham were facing another football club called Charlton, and Millwall were
And we are back.
facing another team called Leyton Orient
I've only heard of Millwall and West Ham.
in the same evening.
You know, they did come out in 1881.
But Millwall and West Ham fans weren't worried about the teams they were playing that day. They were looking for each other. So members of West Ham's intercity firm took a trip to a southeast London train station called New Cross, hoping to bump into some Millwall fans who normally take that route to go to games. And as expected, a mob of Millwall fans were waiting for them, and massive fights ensued. 6 fans were arrested and a policeman was injured with a kick to his kidney. A young man also suffered severe head injuries, but sadly, an 18-year-old Millwall fan called Ian Pratt fell from the train platform while the carnage was happening, and unfortunately ended up getting run over by a train that was passing by. Millwall fans were devastated by the loss of one of their young fans, and to add fuel to the fire, West Ham hooligans created a new chant, mocking the situation which they would sing at certain games. At this point,
Yeah, that's kind of the backplot of Green Street Hooligans. They literally took this rivalry and made it a movie. That's cool.
the meaningless feud turned personal, and Millwall fans were looking for revenge, and soon they would get their chance. In 1978, West Ham had been relegated to the second division after a disappointing season from their side. Waiting for them was Millwall, who was already in the second division, and on the 7th of October 1978, both sides would meet once again. A day Millwall fans were preparing for. Weeks beforehand, leaflets were getting handed out at Millwall home matches, with the words "a West Ham fan must die to avenge Ian," but the police were one step ahead,
I'll say that's not good plotting there.
with over 500 police officers patrolling any train stations and areas where both fans could clash. Extensive searches and segregation were also taking place all day to prevent anything from popping off. But despite the heavy policing, fighting between both sides were occurring throughout the streets.
Yeah, because the people who know who's part of like the factions know who's part of the faction, who's normal people.
Near the West Ham ground, which resulted in 70 arrests altogether. Luckily, no one was severely injured. West Ham managed to leave the fixture winning 3-0. After years of football violence, in the 1980s, the police said enough is enough, especially after a 1985 disaster at a stadium in Belgium, which killed 39 people, was blamed on English fans who were in the stand. At this point,
Yeah, Belgium just blames the British. That's it, obvious.
and English fans were banned from entering any European stadiums for 5 years, and it was now time for
Yeah, that's not a reaction there. Like every English fan now.
something to be done to save English football's reputation. So the police force set up an operation which sent undercover officers to a select few teams which had the biggest issues of hooliganism. 2 of these teams being West Ham and Millwall. In a
We all knew that one was coming, just based off the movie. And dude, you're picking your nose.
long-winded operation, undercover officers rose up in the ranks of these clubs' firms to get to the bottom of who was involved. There was actually a movie loosely based on this operation called ID, but after
There's a third movie based off of this rivalry.
a few years, the operation was abandoned due to a few undercover officers messing up. The police were back to square one, and in 1986, tragedy struck once again. West Ham and Millwall were facing each other in a cup game at West Ham Stadium, Upton Park, and
Oh, that means like the winner moves up in rank.
the emotions were still high after the 1976 murder of the young Millwall fan. Before the game, fans clashed at train stations around London as expected, but tragedy struck when a 19-year-old West Ham fan called Terry Burns was stabbed 6 times at a train station in central London, leaving him dead. After this incident, many fans woke up realizing that this feud had gone way too far, and many Millwall fans paid their respect to Terry, who had been the second victim of this heated rivalry. Since this day,
Alright, so that's improvement. That's improvement. You know, like, oh shit, We just wanted to fight each other and kick each other's ass and go on our day. This gone too far.
Hey, West Ham and Millwall have met up a total of 13 times again, with each meeting still ending up in some sort of violence. Police has cracked down a lot on football hooliganism in the last decades, with harsher sentences for violence, and heavy policing and intercepting on days that rival matches are taking place.
Yeah, I think one guy got like a lifetime ban for getting into a fight.
But it's still something that is very much in the game. During one of England's 2006 World Cup games against Paraguay, around 100 Millwall and West Ham fans clashed at a showing in Canary.
I get fighting when you play each other, but you are on the same side here. You're both British. Root for your home team.
Wolf, resulting in 16 injuries. Not to also mention the 2009 Upton Park riot, which occurred after a cup game between West Ham and Millwall in August 2009, which literally could just be a whole video by itself. In the 010-11 season, West Ham were relegated back to the second division.
Yeah, dark times.
Where Millwall already was. Millwall fans were so excited.
So pretty much West Ham goes up, Millwall doesn't move up.
About this, that a Millwall supporter hired the plane during West Ham's final game against Wigan Athletic, which had a sign praising the West Ham's then manager for getting them relegated, which flew over the stadium they were playing at in full view of West Ham fans.
Ballsy, I like it. I hate that it's against West Ham, but I like it.
On August the 24th, 2017, yet another tragedy occurred after a Nottingham Forest fan called Paul O'Donnell said the words West Ham to a Millwall supporter. The Millwall fan then attacked Paul, which resulted in him dying from his injuries. A year after
that's too far. Come on.
this attack, a moment of solidarity was shown between both clubs after a young West Ham fan called Isla Catton needed to raise money to treat her rare form of cancer. Both Millwall and West Ham fans contributed significantly to the cause, and the Millwall supporter even done a sponsored run in the West Ham tour to
There we go. Like I said, be rivals, hate each other. They don't need to be dead.
show this causes more than the rivalry, which was a great thing to see. Shortly after her eventual death in 2022, Millwall and West Ham released a joint statement showing their condolences. In the media, many films and documentaries have been made about this historic feud, which has become so ingrained in the clubs. Tensions have
The Firm, Green Street Hooligans
have died down quite a bit, but deep down, both clubs will always be each other's biggest rivals. It's been your boy Kid Nerd, and peace out.
Actually, a pretty cool video. I'd like the smooth talking, a lot entertaining. Didn't really break down as much as I thought it would break down. But that is it. That's all I have. I'm going to potentially go to the West Ham website and see how much a jersey costs so I can get a soccer jersey added to my sports team collection. I do have every other team I root for, except for two, actually, technically. I don't have a Boston Cannons lacrosse jersey, and I don't have a West Ham soccer jersey. But I got a Mariners jerseys. I got plenty of Panthers jerseys. You need to order more. I got plenty of Penguins jerseys. You need to order more. I actually have a Notre Dame ice hockey jersey, which is a really cool one. But that's it. That is all I have. Thank you for the random West Ham-ness on this video. And I'll see you weird people later.